Hi, my name is Jeremy and I'm here on behalf of Harry Tarantula to talk about my top 10 for the new set of Star Wars Destiny Spark of Hope. First, let's start with our very interesting honorable mention, Inflict Pain. Inflict Pain is a gray neutral event. It costs 0 resources and it reads the following. Deal 2 damage to one of your characters to deal 2 indirect damage to an opponent. After this event is discarded from your deck, you may add it to your hand. Now this is very interesting for a couple reasons. One, it gives you neutral, free damage all across the board. So this can go into any aggressive deck, hero or villain. It can go into any color deck, which is great. But more interesting than that is the text. After this event is discarded from your deck, you may add it to your hand. This means that the very popular mill decks can't avoid taking this damage. So this is just, I think, a fantastic include in a meta where you're seeing a lot of people running millionaires or running no answer. This is just a fantastic card to answer that. Moving on to our top 10. All right, card number 10, a hero event, Jump to Light Speed. It's for the Scum. It is a 3 resource event. The event reads the following. Spot a vehicle, support. To end the action phase, set this event aside. So we've seen this before. If you're a longtime player like I am, Awakenings brought about the hyperspace jump and all the shenanigans with that card. So it's very important that they allow this card to be set aside, which is basically out of play and unable to be recovered in the normal game. That's very important, but just an objectively powerful card. Spot a vehicle to end the action phase. The only drawback being having to spot a vehicle. Vehicle decks don't tend to resolve their actions in a very timely manner. Otherwise, this would be much higher on the list because, as we've seen before, hyperspace jumps are really, really good, and controlling when the game, like when the round ends, is incredibly effective and powerful ability. On to number 9. Number 9 is a pair of characters. And I have to say it's definitely my one true pairing. We have here the Perfect Gentleman and the Loyal Companion, R2-D2 and C3PO. Now, of course, we have to compare them not only against other characters, but they really are just one unit. So the way I see that, this is either a 16-point character or 21-point character, however you want to run it, 2 dice or 4. They basically can't work without each other. R2 reads the following. He's a character, he's a droid, and you cannot play blue abilities on this character. After you activate this character, you may turn one of your dice to its first side, in parenthesis, the topmost box of its dice reference, or to any side instead if you spot C3PO. R2 also has 1 melee, 2 melee, 1 disrupt, 1 shield, 1 resource, and a blank. 3PO, the Perfect Gentleman, is an 8 health character. He's a droid. You may activate this character. You may resolve, after you activate this character, you may resolve one of your dice, increasing its value by 1 if you spend 1 resource to spot R2-D2. And 3PO is 1 focus, 1 shield, 1 resource, and 1 resource. R2 is force, and 3PO is command. So it's a very interesting pairing where you're 2/3 of a rainbow deck. What you can do with these guys is absolutely limitless. You can play a rainbow ramp deck, you can play a red-blue ramp deck, you can play a melee deck, you can play a mill deck where you try to overturn people's cards. 3PO is incredibly focused with double focuses, double resources, and then R2 is got the more resources and shields as well. And when you activate this character, R2's trigger, when you return 1 dice to any side, with 3PO in play, that basically says that you determine how this dice rolls out. And that is just an incredibly broken ability for 16 points to fit these guys on your team. I look forward to seeing what people are going to brew up with them. Maybe Anakin Skywalker, like Little Annie to get the rainbow, maybe a different character. I can't really think of anyone off the top of my head I'd like to see them play with. Because I hate heroes, but the point of it is that with these 2 guys on the field, you're going to see some really silly things done, and it looks like it's going to be vehicles for days. Oh, and let's not forget the droid synergies. Maybe you want to get a chopper on your team and just go in on that. I'm not sure, but again, your number 9 is a pretty strong team of hero droids. Number 8 on our list, Jango Fett, armed to the teeth. He's 11 health character, bounty hunter. He's scum. He's a villain. He has 1 gun, 2 gun, 1 melee, 1 resource, and then 2 resources for 1 resource, and a blank at 12 for the regular and 14 for elite. Jango Fett reads, each equipment on this character does not count towards its upgrade limit. After you play an equipment on this character for the first time each round, you may gain 1 resource. So Jango is a fantastically budgeted character. At 14 points, you get 11 health. You get the Palpatine ability of, instead of abilities, this time it's equipment, which is really big for yellow. And then fantastic sides in that he has a double damage side, 3 damage sides total, double damage side, and 2 resource sides. Fantastic for a deck where you're trying to get out as many gears, as much gear as you can possibly hold. Also, he's the lighter side of a 30-point team, which means that you can play with an even heavier person, which can take the hits for you as Jango builds up over time. The implications of this card are amazing. He has fantastic applications with already existing teams with, let's think, Tarkin or any of the big hitters. You could play him non-elite with 1 dice, with a couple of really big dudes, like, I'm trying to think now, there would be a couple of them, but the thing about them, the only knock I can put on him and why he's not higher on this list is, again, he's got this mixed damage. I'm not sure what that is about. Makes it very difficult to resolve the dice. He is a bounty hunter, which is relevant. It's just a fantastic card. Lots of build-around potential here. I know that we're going to be seeing a lot of him in our local meta for sure. On to number 7. Mr. Bones is a support droid. He is a hero card. He costs 2 resources, and he has the following sides: 1 melee, 1 melee, 2 melee, 3 melee for 1 resource, 1 disrupt, and 1 discard. And the text, after you resolve this die showing melee damage, if one or more characters were just defeated, you may ready this support. So Mr. Bones is a hero droid support, which is pretty interesting in this set where we just debuted 2 hero droids. And he has melee, which is very interesting for a yellow hero card. That you don't see a lot of that. But most importantly, no blanks and an ability to ready himself. So this is like a miniature hero version of Vader's fist in a lot of ways. I really love the design of this card. I think it's interesting, and we'll move into a new build space where heroes and droids is not something that we've seen a lot of. Hero melee yellow is not something we see a lot of, but again, we just talked about a rainbow build with R2 and 3PO. Maybe Bones is the missing piece. I love that he can't fit in the already overstuffed Afra droid deck, being a hero. It'll be very interesting to see what will come of this card, but definitely an objectively super powerful card. If you open this guy in draft, you do not pass him. He is wonderful. Mr. Bones is our number 7. So Darth Maul, the skilled duelist, is our number 6 card. He is a villain. He is an apprentice, and he is a Sith. He costs 16 points and 20 at elite for 13 health, and you get 1 swords, 2 swords, 3 swords, 2 swords again, 1 resource, and a blank. So there's a lot of swords on this character. He has a power action. Reroll one of this character's character or upgrade dice. You may discard a card from your hand to reroll that die again. If that die is showing melee damage, you may remove it to deal damage equal to its value to 2 characters. Darth Maul is fantastic, or I should say Maul, Skilled Duelist, is a fantastic card. The only knock on him is that he costs 20 points. Clearly they meant for him to be built around. He does not pair well with anybody at 1 dice, but clearly you need to run this guy elite. He is the centerpiece of a deck, and as a centerpiece you can really ask for more. 4 damage sides, 3 of them are absolutely killer, and then a power action that basically says that I'm going to take your go white strategy and give it the business. He is a Sith, which means that he can equip all the Force powers. He can use all kinds of different subtype referencing cards. And more importantly than anything, that this is where you put all your lightsabers. He is absolutely fantastic. Again, if you can get around the point total, and we know we can because we've done it with Darth Vader in the past, this might be your new budget Vader. The only thing keeping him out of the top 3 is his 20-point cost, which makes the villain side struggle as they don't have the best variety for smaller guys. I foresee this guy being played with perhaps a built to last and a very small character like a stormtrooper or something. I'm not even sure. Just to gain access to red and some batons and that sort of thing. But like lots of different ways you can build him. All of them centered on him. All right. At number 5, we have our first equipment. We have Yoda's lightsaber. It is a 1-cost unique hero upgrade. It is a weapon. and it is simply the best equipment I've ever seen. This weapon is unique. It has the following sides: 1 stick, plus 1 stick, 1 shield, 1 resource, and 2 specials. The text is, after you play this upgrade on Yoda, you may give him 1 shield. Special, deal 1 unblockable damage to a character, or 2 unblockable damage instead if you remove 1 shield from attached character. What this says to me is that Yoda, who you thought was dead, is back and better than ever. He is officially a beater. The fact that the majority of the damage comes off of the special, so you can chain into the specials naturally with Yoda's dice, are just like, you don't even need to go there. It's just as soon as you see it, you see it. It's elementary, really. But more importantly, that this is a 1-cost upgrade that can go into any hero deck. It can go on any character. It does not require a Jedi or even a Force user. And it has applicable sides, 4 or 5 of the 6, no blanks, and all at the cost of 1. This is the sleeper card of the set. Any Yoda player should be rejoicing about this. Any Force Jedi player should be rejoicing about this. And any Rainbow player, like we mentioned earlier with the droids, should probably think about trying to slide one of these into deck, maybe even 2. On to the best equipment in the set. We have Han Solo's blaster at number 4. Han Solo's blaster is a unique hero scum card. It costs 3 resources, and it's an upgrade weapon with the following sides: 1 gun, 2 guns, 3 for 1 guns, plus 3 guns, 1 resource, and a blank. It is a weapon. It has ambush, and the text as follows: after you play this upgrade, you may force an opponent to remove 1 of their dice showing damage. Then, if this upgrade is on Han Solo, you may activate him. So this card single-handedly makes the Han Solos of past, present, and future immediately playable. With the ambush action and the roll-in, that means that you have unmitigatable damage from Han Solo. And its best side, therefore, is the +3 on the bottom of the card, which will immediately mean you get to resolve a minimum of 4 damage before your opponent gets to react at all. This card is fantastic, top to bottom. I thought we were done with the giant ambush redeploy weapons, but this one is harkens back to the old X9 sniper. The X8 sniper. It harkens back to the holdout blaster days. This is just a fantastic weapon. It's an auto include in any hero deck that wants to shoot people. It's the whole reason to play Han Solo. Like, he's not on this list, but this card is, absolutely. And after you play this upgrade, you may force an opponent to remove 1 of their dice showing damage. Now, the wording on this is a little tricky. I interpret that to mean that the player who you're forcing chooses which of their dice to remove, as long as there's damage. So played correctly, this is just a fantastic weapon. I look forward to using it in the future with my Poe and Han deck. It's just a brilliant, brilliant weapon. And yeah, the only knock on it is that it costs 3 and it's unique. Because if you wasn't, then you'd be seeing a lot of these on play at all times during tournament play. On to the top 3, and our very last event, we have Desperate Measures. Desperate Measures is a card I've been looking for a very long time. I'm very happy that it's finally here. This is a common, and probably one of the most powerful commons they've ever printed, bar none. Desperate Measures is an event. It is scum. It is villain. It costs 0 resources, and reads as follows. Spot a yellow character to discard a support from play. Then deal indirect damage to yourself equal to the cost of that support. Now, the cost may seem very large in that you can take out a support and then end up dinging yourself in terms of damage. But let's break this card down, shall we? Star Wars meta right now in 2019 is all about vehicles. Vehicles and ships, and to a lesser extent, every deck runs a support of some kind. So this card is an auto-include into any villain deck that touches on yellow. It can take out a wide variety of targets, snapping off on an aftermath or a tech team for 1 resource, for 1 indirect damage to your team is a no-brainer. If they're playing tech teams, you probably want to hold on to this card and then eat their souped-up ship and take the 4, because I can assure you that if a Ghost gets on tap or a Millennium Falcon gets on tap, then you're in a lot of problems. This card is absolutely brilliant. I'm super happy about this card. It finally gives vehicle decks something to think about because they have been running wild across the meta, and this is something that I'm very happy to see, at least in the short term. We'll see how powerful this ends up being. Okay, our number 2 card is our last hero in the set. Her name is Amelin Holdo, the Viceadmiral. She's a 9 health command hero, and she has the following signs: 2 indirect, 1 focus, 2 focus, 1 shield, 1 special, and a blank. She's a leader, and she is amazing. And her text goes as follows: after this character is defeated, you may ready a vehicle. Gain 1 resource, or this is her special, gain 1 resource, or play a vehicle from your hand, decreasing its cost by 2. This character single-handedly knits together so many different archetypes and so many different strategies that are effective and have been missing a character just like her. Expect to see her in the following builds, but not exclusive to those builds. She will go with Padme to do the focus indirect deck. She will go with any vehicle deck that has heroes in it. She will go with any deck that is trying to do anything with leaders in it. She will go with all of those things combined. She's just a fantastic character. She's only 10 points as a 1 dice, and even though her dice are really good, and you probably want to play her too, 13 points in the lead Holdo is just a fantastic card. The idea of focusing into her special and then playing your X-Wings from your hand for near free, or using her dice with Padme's ability to deal indirect to the opposing team. She's just a fantastic, fantastic card. The only knock on her is her very low health total, but even then, if she dies, you still get the advantage of her trigger of readying a vehicle, which is, again, something that is just absolutely insane to me, like that this card exists. Like, she's absolutely kill on sight. If you have her, hold her. She's just amazing, amazing character, amazing tribute to the character in the film. I think they designed it properly. I think she's going to see a lot of play. I think that any vehicle deck that's not running her is making a huge mistake, as long as they're a hero. And I think that her effects will be seen for some time in combination with a myriad of different characters. My mind numbs at the idea that you could bring up with her. Oh, and don't forget our card that just fell off of camera with the Lightspeed Assault, where you sacrifice a leader in a ship. Here's your perfect target for that. And now for our last character, the number 1 pick in the set for Spark of Hope for me in 2019 is Thrawn, the Grand Admiral. Thrawn is a 13-point command villain. He is a leader. He has the following sides: 2 melee, 3 melee, 2 focus, 2 discards, 1 resource, and a blank, all for the low cost of either 15 or 19 points, and the following text: after you activate this character, you may look at the top 4 cards of a deck. Power action: reveal the top 4 cards in an opponent's deck. You may play an event revealed this way and spot that opponent's cards as if they were yours. He's got 13 health. He's got magnificent sides. He's a point cheaper than Darth Maul. This guy can do no wrong. Now, I promised I wasn't going to talk too much about like build around cards and that sort of thing, but this guy is clearly the darling of the set. There's no less than 3 cards specifically designed just for him that are running around and are all equally powerful, and when you put them all together, you basically have constructed 50% of a lock deck. The other half is whatever you want to spend the other 11 points on, because you're definitely going double Thrawn. The best part about this card, which I really like the most, is that he's not a one-trick mill-out opponent deck. He's not only going to try to mill people out, he actually has melee sides, which means you can combine him with, let's say, Anakin Skywalker from the draft set. And you can actually go aggro with him and then use his power action to use their mitigation against them. He's just a fantastic character. He can be built aggressively. He can be built as a control deck with those 2 discards, the 2 focuses, and of course his power action. He is absolutely like the thing that we feared the most of the set when he was spoiled, and he has held out to be easily the best card in the set. I shudder at what kind of shenanigans I'm going to have to put up with this guy on the board, because, yeah, I hate him. But that's what you want out of a number 1 card. So thank you very much for tuning into our video. All of these singles and more can be found on our website, www.harryt.com. And don't forget to join us here in the store every Tuesday night for Star Wars Day. Star Wars Day has been going for 6 years, and we hope to keep going in the future here at 3456 Yonge Street in Toronto. That's me, Jeremy, and this has been my top 10. Thanks very much, and have a great day.